Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwa. We begin with the shipment of 600,000 barrels of Russian crude oil to Ghana and reaction from the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, which says that it does not affect that arrangement to affect trading with Ghana's international partners. Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amwa, however, is asking the National Petroleum Authority to ascertain the source of the oil and ask government to tread cautiously.
In fuels trading, Russian cargo is not banned entirely. In fact, you can buy their cargo except that it has a cap of $60, meaning you shouldn't pay more for the Russian economy to be able to continue to fund the war. So buying cargo with Russia shouldn't be a problem. We are all for any way to get cheaper products if there's any such thing. We will be all for any way of getting much competitive prices on the market for the consumer if there's any such thing. There are regulatory issues. One, the refinery that is taking hold of the product is said not to have the kind of capacity to take that kind of volume, and questions are being asked as to how they intend to even do the processing and how to ease that also onto the markets. That in itself doesn't make it bad or criminal. Again, you also have a situation where questions are being raised about whether indeed it is crude or it is AGO contained in that vessel. Is it a combination of the two? Are we simply signing off for finished products to come into the system? We have requested the refinery in question their annual review fees. Does it take cognizance of such volumes? Because if you have BDCs to do that kind of trade, and then refineries are also taking stock of supposedly finished products, then it sends a wrong signal for business. And so a few issues around it, but generally, we don't have a problem if it is even Russian crude, because the international market is still patronizing. Europe can pretend not to want that crude, but once they trade with India, India is buying from Russia. So, inadvertently, they are still consuming that crude. And we believe strongly that if you were to knock out Russia completely from the international fuel supply markets, prices could double overnight because their volumes are huge. 10% of global supply is something you cannot joke with. So whether we like it or not, the global system shakes off but still finds a way to accept Russian crude. We don't have a problem with it so long as prices are going to be competitive, so long as we are being told the exact truths and not that some people are playing different trade games, bringing finished products and saying it's crude. If we are satisfied as a country that these are within our regulatory parameters, then the NPA will be in the right to give them the go-ahead to discharge.
But one may say we've seen 20% fall in their revenue. Now let's look at Ghana. One may say in the long term, this could cause a serious problem for Ghana and its trading partners in other parts of the country. I don't know if you side with them.
Well, the Russian product or cargo, I do not anticipate should cause a problem. Rather, it should stimulate the market. You should have a situation where, because their prices are hugely competitive and there's a cap on them, what you buy from other parts of the world might be slightly higher. And I will be all up for getting that cargo because, like I indicated, you can read about embargo on Russia and what sort of embargo that the West has placed on them. Their products are still on the international market and is being patronized by countries. So buying from them should not spark any diplomatic row, except that we should be sure that indeed, is it crude we are bringing in? Is it finished products? AGO, like we are being told in some quarters.